What's up guys, AJ here. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the traditional team model and now the new team model. All right, let's dive in here. So I got my real estate license at the end of 2012, and right off the bat, I joined Keller Williams. Loved my time there, great company, and I started to build a team. And over the course of my 4.5 years there, I spent 3 of the years building a team. And now when I joined EXP in January 1, 2017, I started under a new model. So that's really what I'm going to be explaining. So I want to draw out this 2 different scenarios because I think it's important when you're looking at starting a team, or maybe you have a team where you're looking to grow your team, on which platform, because at the end of the day, all these different real estate companies, Remax, Coldwell Banker, Keller Williams, EXP, they're ultimately just different platforms that you can run your business on. And at the same time, even if you're an independent broker, it's kind of a team concept if you look at it like that. And this is also a unique way to look at how you might be running your business under the EXP model. So let's jump in. So when I was running my team at Keller Williams, the number one thing that I learned that all team leaders, all team owners are looking to accomplish is, number one, recruit good talent. So the number one problem that they have is recruiting good talent. That's the number one problem really in any business. So they're trying to recruit good talent, all right? The second thing that they're trying to do is retain that talent. And I know this firsthand, and if you're currently running a team, you also know this firsthand. What happens is the good agents, you train them, you invest money into them through leads, you give them your heart and soul, and you build them up to this great agent. And what naturally happens is once they are crushing it with their business, their real estate sales, they go off and leave you. And at this point, you know, you might be wishing them well, but secretly you're wishing that they stayed with you because you invested a lot of energy into them and a lot of money, and now they leave and you're not being compensated at all. EXP is a solution for that. And number 2, the agents that aren't that great, that you ultimately have to fire or they quit on you, you don't get any benefit there either. But under the EXP model, you still can. So let's talk about those 2 scenarios. Let's first start with the agents who leave your business once they are rock stars. So at EXP, if you had personally enrolled them into your revenue share organization, so you have your real estate team and your revenue share team, if you enrolled them into that revenue share team and they leave, you can wish them well. You can help them start their own team because you still get compensated through revenue share. I had a gentleman in my team who was my listing agent at the time, and absolutely rock star. He went out and now he has a revenue share organization of around 150 agents, and I'm personally being compensated every single month because he keeps growing my revenue share team. It's a win-win situation. Had I been on the old platform under the traditional model, he would have left. I would have probably never really talked to him that much because I was still trying to just build my team, put my energy into that team. There's no way that I could just be helping him for free. And then let's talk about the agents that you bring in that might not work out or you have to let go. Maybe they're just not a good fit for your team. Well, you can still say, hey, you know, we're not a good fit, you know, team-wise, but how about I help you get launched in your real estate career aside my team at EXP, and then you can still help coach, train them, maybe even help them get some leads, give them leads, and under that model, you're still getting compensated because of revenue share. So you're almost like a paid coach, except they're not paying you. EXP is through the revenue share, so you can still invest 100% into that person, even though they might have not been a good fit on your team. So when I talk to agents at other brokerages looking to start a team, I want them to think in this framework. I already mentioned that your number one challenge starting a team is recruiting good talent and retaining that talent. So when you're looking at it like that, my traditional model, what I was doing was attracting agents, as we call it at EXP. So during my 3-year period at Keller Williams, I had brought on around 20 to 25 agents. And the good ones left, and some I had to let go, and some decided the team wasn't a good fit for them. So over the course of time, I had personally brought in 20 to 25 agents. My overhead on my team, I was spending over $6,000 a month on leads. I had my own office at the time, and I had, you know, the copiers, the utility bills, you know, everything that comes along with running a team. The real estate coach that was helping coach me and also do some coaching calls for my team. I had all that because I was truly 100% invested in my real estate team, which you should be. My overhead was $14,000 per month on average. Now, our sales, our gross commission income, and we weren't a huge team, but we were one of the top teams in our market. We were selling around $20 million a year, just over 600,000 GCI, and our profits on that were around $20,000 a month. And if you're a team leader watching this, you're most likely gonna understand what I'm gonna say next, which is if I still wasn't personally selling, if I wanted to take a month off and travel the world or travel the country like I did for 11 months, then this would have went away because my personal production was highly propping up the entire business. So if my personal sales were to be taken out of that, the profit margins would be very small. what I learned is that most teams, it's kind of a myth. Most teams are running on very low profit margins, and if that agent were to actually step out and run it like a true business owner, as opposed to say a self-employed person, because that's really what you are. If you're still in the grind, in the hustle of day-to-day sales, you're still really self-employed. If you know the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, it talks about the cash flow quadrant, which has employee, investor, business owner, and self-employed. You're still in the self-employed quadrant. And for me, as an entrepreneur and business owner, I got into real estate to be a business owner and entrepreneur. I wanted to truly be a business owner, but I quickly found myself as just a self-employed person. So that $20,000 in profits goes away if I'm not producing, because my overhead to keep my agents going is high, and that's how teams are run. Now the units on that I already mentioned was 80, get down on my knee for this one, 80 to 90 per year. And of that, about 24 or so were mine. And my wife was also an agent on the team, so some of those were also hers. I'm a strong advocate in freedom, time freedom, money freedom, location freedom, so I love vacations. I love taking time off. And I think most agents get into real estate to have that freedom. My goal with running a team was to consistently scale back my hours and increase my freedom. And that's what I did while running a real estate team. So I was able to build this working 35, 40 hours a week. However, discovered a new model through EXP. So let's jump over to the EXP, how this looks side by side. And remember, I was in this role for 3 years, okay? So over here at EXP, I've been with the company now 2.5 years. The amount of agents that I've personally brought in, and guys, the reality is that some agents that join a company leave. The industry average is 30% dropout. So if a brokerage recruits 100 agents in 1 year, 30 leave. So not all 39 stayed, not all 39 contributed to the numbers I'm gonna share with you. So I just want you to think about that too. So 39 agents is what I personally brought in. While I was doing this, my entire first year at EXP, I was still growing my team. We were still selling as many houses as we always were. But I started to build this as a part-time solution to what I was trying to accomplish, which was freedom. I think the sweet spot is a hybrid model between the two, and that's what we're talking about. So the overhead on the EXP team, the EXP revenue share team, pretty much zero. Aside from some travel to conferences, which I do anyways, I love to do. I always was heavily invested in going to conferences here, so I still went to conferences, but aside from that, the overhead's pretty much zero. Now the revenue share is where it gets really exciting, and what I love about the revenue share model is how it just starts to grow. So I mentioned I had 39 agents that I personally enrolled. Well, those 39 agents, my partners also got excited about it, and they went out and told some people. And if you've watched some of my previous videos, I'll actually link up in the notes here where I talk about how you can earn $15,000 per month in revenue share through EXP. So make sure you click that link below, and I'll have that on the screen as well. Make sure right after watching this video, you actually watch that one, because this will make a whole lot more sense. So those 39 agents went out, and it turned into almost 1,400 at this point. So where it took me 3 years bringing on 20 to 25 agents, the most agents I ever had at one time was about 8, including my wife and I. But we typically hovered around 5 total agents. Over here, I brought on 39, and largely because EXP is just such a great solution for agents. I mean, if you're gonna be an agent under the traditional model, only being compensated through your production, your commissions, versus coming over here and being compensated through stock and also revenue share, so you have 3 streams of income, it only makes sense, and that's why agents see the model and they're partnering with us at a record pace. Quite frankly, we're the first real estate company, I believe, to ever hit 10,000 agents in that amount of time. So now my team, instead of being locally confined, is in 40 plus states, 4 or 5 Canadian provinces, and now the UK. And I got this to happen. And my team, because they were excited, they were entrepreneurs, they were true business people, they made this happen. Just a completely different concept. And what's really special is the income that's being created over here. If I want to travel to have that freedom, like I did for 10 months around the country, my wife and I, last August 1st, we sold our house and traveled the country in our motorhome, working 10 to 15 hours a week to still build this. Now that's a completely different model. Come down here, take a look at that video that I'm linking up in the notes, and the revenue share is incredible. It's reasonable to believe that under the EXP revenue share program, and Glenn Stanford just said this, and I think when you can look at 1,400 agents and look at how he discusses it, you can kind of put 2 and 2 together. He said in 2007, he was at Keller Williams, and he had enrolled 184 agents in his profit share organization, we'll call it. And the following year, or that year, his 1099 was $6,000. And he says, that was not working for me. He said under EXP model, it would have been $90,000 for the year. And knowing what I know and my own numbers inside of the revenue share organization, that's actually pretty conservative. Here I have 1,400 agents, it's about 1,380 right now. Each time one of these agents sells a house every single month, in the following month, I get paid a percent of those transactions. So instead of 80 to 90 houses a year, my EXP revenue share team sold over 600 houses. That's last month. And on each transaction, I get paid a percentage. And whether or not I'm working, I still get paid that percentage. This is residual income. This is earned income. This is overhead, risk. In business, you want to limit overhead and risk. Profit's great, but when you got to keep showing up for this, all you have is a job. You're self-employed. You don't have a true business. The market turns. You're locally confined to one market. This could cut in half. But I have 14 agents around North America and now the UK. If California is experiencing a downturn, maybe Charlotte, where I built my business, is still super strong. Maybe Canada's market's declining, but the US is still super strong. This is safety. This is diversity. This helps me sleep really good at night, guys. So this is a different concept. So it's not that sometimes you hear, well, EXP agents are all about recruiting. That's actually not true. Most EXP agents are just heavily focused on selling houses. My biggest challenge in the company is helping to inspire agents enough and to help them self-discover that this is the best model to actually take maybe 5, 7 hours, 3 hours, whatever their goals are, a week, and focus on building some residual income. That's actually the biggest challenge because our agents are highly productive agents. They're selling a lot of houses. But when you can blend these two, what can that do for your family? If you were making $20,000, $25,000 a month plus in residual income, how would that change your life? How would that affect the people that you love? What kind of vacations could you be going on? What if you didn't have to go hold an open house at 1 o'clock on a Saturday when your kids are playing at a baseball tournament? What if you were at home at night by 6:30 to have dinner with your family as opposed to being on listing appointments every night? What if you didn't have to run out on a Sunday morning because a hot new listing just came on the market, and as a buyer's agent, you have to go show that house immediately? Now, I'm not saying to stop doing all real estate sales. What I'm saying is you can say no to some of that stuff because you don't need the money. If you're making, say, $100,000 a year as a real estate agent and you're making $100,000 a year as an EXP agent, you can say no to some clients, those difficult clients that we've all had that we work with. You can say no to running around like a madman or mad woman. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm so passionate about it, because this is changing agents' lives. This has 100% completely changed my life and my wife's life. And 100% has completely changed so many of these 1,400 agents that have decided to partner with me and join my revenue share team. And what I do full-time 100%, I'm no longer traveling around the country. I'm back to working hard because I'm just so excited about it, and I do truly love working and partnering with agents and helping them build this if that's what they want to build. Maybe they just want to build an organization of 100 agents, whatever it is. I help them build $2,000 a month residual income. I help them build $25,000 a month residual income in numbers that you wouldn't even believe. And that's all happening inside of my team. And I've only been here 2.5 years, and there's so many success stories that I could share with you. So if what I'm saying is speaking to you and you want more freedom in your life and you truly want to just step up, work hard to build something truly special under the new model, then go ahead and reach out to me. My information's in the comments, or you can find me on Facebook. Just shoot me a private message. And I'd love to hop on a Zoom call with you, phone call, whatever, and just break down maybe your business and break down how it could look under EXP, the different costs, the different fees. And maybe it's a good fit, maybe it's not, but at least you know the truth about EXP, because quite frankly, a lot of other companies are scared and they're giving out a lot of misinformation. And this opportunity is too big for you to put your head in the sand and hope EXP is gonna go away, because it's not, and your family just might need this.